Hi, I'm Consul General Timi Davis. I'm excited to talk to you today about my home state of Louisiana. The state flag of Louisiana is a field of blue, featuring a pelican nurturing her young. The state motto of union, justice, confidence is displayed in white letters across the front. It's a symbol of self-sacrifice. The state capital of Louisiana is Baton Rouge, home of the Louisiana State University Fighting Tigers, and is my second favorite football team in the Southeastern Conference. Politics in Louisiana has always been colorful. A lot of countries think they have politicians who are charismatic and fascinating. One of my favorite books is All the King's Men, a book about a young populist who's elected and looks out for the underrepresented. He builds roads and hospitals, and while it ends tragically, it really is a nice representation of how wonderful and interesting politics can be in my home state. One of the things I'm most excited to talk to you about is my hometown, New Orleans. New Orleans has a rich culture and history in arts, but also in music. The first opera performed in the United States was performed in New Orleans in 1796. New Orleans is also the place where jazz was created, and jazz has influenced every kind of American music that came after it. Rock and roll, modern country music, hip hop. There isn't a performer alive who hasn't been influenced by jazz. And some of the greatest jazz musicians of all time come from New Orleans, beginning with Louis Armstrong, a great jazz trumpetist. The Marsalis family is from New Orleans. Jean-Baptiste, who you might know from The Colbert Show, also from New Orleans. New Orleans is a place where jazz started, but also where music continues to grow and thrive. I wanted to share with you a picture of me and my father at Jazz Fest. It's a place where families in New Orleans and from around the country and world come together to enjoy great music. 2005, when I was preparing to move to Najaf, Iraq, my first time to serve and live in this wonderful country, Hurricane Katrina struck my hometown, the city of New Orleans. My own family lost their home in the hurricane, but many families were worse off than ours. I'll never forget the generosity of those around the world who came to the aid of those of us in New Orleans. One of the things that New Orleans and Bosra have in common is the climate. While Bosra has a moderately humid climate usually, New Orleans though is very, very humid. I actually get excited about the dry heat in Bosra. New Orleans is humid due to its southern location and its tropical climate, but like most of Iraq, New Orleans has a long hot summer and a short mild winter, so I feel very much at home. This may be my favorite part of the video. Some of my favorite foods from New Orleans are beignets, which are a light powdered donut that is delicious, that you can find at places like Café du Monde in the middle of New Orleans, and red beans and rice, which are a staple in New Orleans. Most restaurants in New Orleans, in fact, serve red beans and rice on Monday. So if I'm ever home and it's a Monday, I don't even look for any other food to eat. I go straight to a place that can serve red beans and rice. Southern Louisiana is the home to many wonders, some natural, some man-made. One of the great man-made wonders of Southern Louisiana is the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway Bridge. It's the longest continuous bridge in the world at 24 miles. It's an amazing thing to see. It starts in Metairie and ends on the North Shore. I enjoy driving on it unless there's traffic. If someone's car breaks down, you will spend the rest of your life on the Causeway Bridge. New Orleans, like Bosra, is home to a large international port. It's a melting pot of many cultures and races. It's a very tolerant city. Much like Bosra, if you find yourself in Louisiana, there are a number of places you should visit. One of my favorite places, and a place you can find me reading or running, is Audubon Park. It's a large park in the middle of the city that has a golf course and a number of lakes and paths to walk and to run. You should also take some time to visit Jackson Square. Jackson Square sits at the edge of the Mississippi River and the French Quarter. It's a place of great and historic beauty. One of the best things to be in New Orleans is a fan of our local sports teams. The hat that I'm wearing with the fleur-de-lis represents our National Football League football team, the New Orleans Saints, a team that was not very good for a long time, and we still loved and supported them. And then they won the Super Bowl shortly after Hurricane Katrina, and we couldn't be happier with their efforts. The sweatshirt that I'm wearing is for the New Orleans Pelicans, the National Basketball Association team. We also have minor league baseball in the city. The New Orleans baby cakes represent us on the minor league baseball circuit. So you can be a lot of things in New Orleans, but one thing you're sure to be is a fan of our local sports. It's in the southeastern United States. At the time, in 1803, it cost $15 million, bought from France. That's terrible. The capital of Louisiana is Baton Rouge, home of the Louisiana State University. The university boasts 31,000, yeah. Why, because I was looking at paper? Southern Louisiana is also the home of many interesting, yeah. Louisiana, sorry. Yeah. Nah, here we go.